Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ella.
And this is Real Estate in Real Life. And this is James, because this is real life. I just think it's something that should be brought up is, to kind of being able to have like a work-life, home-life balance. And I know that kind of seems all over the place and broad, but I just felt like it's something that people need to see, that we have a work-home-life balance. Mine is at work with me today. It's just part of it. And so, I don't know, I just kind of thought it would be nice to talk about why it's important to have the balance.
Yeah, we're excited because when we have talked about this a lot together and with different girls in the office, and it's something that I feel like no matter what industry you're in, it can be a challenge, and it should be talked about and celebrated that there can be a balance. So
I agree.
Yeah.
And, having the right balance can sometimes make you better at your job, or it might, be a season, or it might just be, I don't know. I feel like everybody's got a different way of approaching their work. And for me right now, it's balancing things at home.
Yeah, for sure. For me, a couple years ago, and I've been in this for 8 years, and I have been married for 11. And anyways, most of my time in this career has been like available to just work, and that can sometimes really take a toll on you. And so a few years ago, I started to notice some like substantial health effects that were after going on like a whole journey with it. I basically narrowed down to like stress. Stress was causing a lot of health things for me, like in my 20s. And it's hard to, like, when you're in it and when you've like built a business and you're busy and it's going well, it's hard to kind of step out and say, wait a second, and am I enjoying life? And are all other goals in my life being met, or is it just work? And so this is like something that's so near and dear to my heart, because I haven't figured it out yet, but it's once you kind of know, like, hey, there are other things that I can do well and also still be really successful in my work life too. You start to kind of look for ways to have that balance. So I'll start with the questions. We'll just kind of go back and forth. For you, Sarah, what challenges in our career that we've chosen do we face when it comes to, like, you have 2 kids now and a husband and hobbies? Like, what challenges do you find that balancing that can be?
Fortunately, the one good thing that I love about what we do is that so many of our clients, I feel like, relate to us. And I think that that's the kind of clients you draw, are the ones that are going to relate to you, or that you're friends with, or already know your lifestyle. So a lot of times I'm very lucky to have clients that are very much like, bring your kids. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you need to go to a showing and you have your kids, just bring them. We're okay with it. And that is a huge lifesaver for me, because sometimes I am managing my husband's job and my job and trying to do all the things, and I've got the 2 kids. Before, I just had my oldest, and he had finally kind of gotten to school, and I was able to have more time, and then we decided to start over, and so here we are. And now this is kind of what it is. I need to come in here. I want to do a podcast with you. I have James, and James just gets to come with me. And so that's kind of part of it. But I think in today's world, they say, like, for women, I just saw this girl talking the other day. She was like, women are supposed to have it all. You're supposed to work, and you're supposed to, work out, and you're supposed to drink water, and you're supposed to have a family, and you're supposed to do all the things. And by the way, smile while you're doing it, And it's hard, and in reality, to have all those things, it can be stressful. And I think it's just finding what works for you in the season of life that you're in. And currently, I have slowed down a little bit in just that, I haven't picked up a ton of new clients, but that's because he's 7 weeks old and we've been staying home. But it doesn't mean that I can't work. I've just purposely slowed down. But I think my clients know that I'm available, and I think it speaks to my clients to say, hey, she's taking an hour out to have dinner with her family. And I think that shows that I'm taking a break, and I'm mentally going to be prepared for you when I get back. And that just is what works for me right now. But that may not be, everybody's forte.
And that's awesome, because like you said, like, you kind of, people gravitate towards you, they relate to you in seasons, it's life. And so most people have experienced some sort of balancing act similar. And so it's just very nice to know that we're not machines.
We're not. I mean, I'm not a machine. Other than
and it's okay to turn your phone off on a Saturday and go to a soccer game or whatever, and just really be present in the moment, not just forced time.
Yes.
You know, but.
And honestly, a lot of times that's how I find my clients are people with families and doing the same things I'm doing. And then we all bring our kids to showings, and I'm like, you guys go play outside while we, you know, show this house. And so sometimes that works, and it can be stressful, and sometimes it does interfere. I want people to think I'm professional and all the things, but at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get through life a day at a time. And
absolutely.
I think as long as we're open about that and honest.
Yeah, not everybody will be a fit, and that's okay. You know, in certain seasons that changes, and so it's okay to, you know, I think if we're really gonna enjoy life, because you turn around and your kids are grown and whatever, and you've missed a lot. I remember specifically a few years ago, vacation, I went with my parents to, I think, North Carolina, and we were trying to like hike, and it was this hill with no service, and all I can remember is that I was just so sick that I could not get service to my phone to finish writing this offer.
It's a horrible feeling.
And I'm like, and you know, they would make comments like sweetly, like, you know, it's okay to take time off. And when you're in it and when you're like scared you're going to disappoint people, it's very hard to figure out a balance. And so it's like, that's what I remember about that vacation, is that everywhere we went I had no cell phone service, and I had a ton to do, and I couldn't get it done. And it's like, that's, at the time I did not know how to put my phone down and say, hey, like, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I'm out of town today. I will get this, you know, and some things are urgent and they can't wait, and that's okay too. But
sometimes I think, like, why am I so hard on myself like that? I would never expect my hairdresser to be on standby every time that I need my haircut, or my doctor. Like, I kind of want my doctor to have a good night's rest before he comes and sees me, you know? Or so I kind of think, like, why is it that we aren't allowed to, or you get that feeling, but anybody else that has a job is like, okay, I'm going to turn off at 5 o'clock. And
and most of mine, I realized, was like not brought on by, like, it was self-made. Like, the people that I work with are so lovely, and had I had been honest, they would have been very understanding. I just had it in my head that, you know, I didn't want to disappoint anybody, or they wouldn't want to use me again, or whatever.
Which, and that kind of leads to too, like, being pregnant. And are we talking about you being pregnant or not?
Yeah, we can, and if I like freak out, maybe we can cut it out.
Yeah, we can cut it. It's up to you.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, I know, like, that goes into, like, being pregnant. I was scared to tell people I was pregnant, because I felt like it made people not want to work with me, or they thought that I was going to be incapable. And that's, you know, that's kind of sad to, like, feel that way. But then at the same time, I thought, well, I'm not going to, you know, put that out there right now, because I want to make sure that, you know, speaking of, my phone's blowing up as we speak, I just want to make sure people feel comfortable calling me, and not that they think I won't be available. And so I don't know, has that kind of stuff affected you in? Well,
besides just feeling like terrible, but I think always it's like this whole, you know, how much do you want to let people into your life, and then also be honest and transparent. And, you know, if you were, they would like we said, they'd probably understand. You know, but also there's this, like, not in our office in particular necessarily, but there's this whole, you get on social media and you look around, and just everybody is always doing more. And so it's like, I should be thriving in all seasons, you know, even if I'm down, or even if I'm, you know,
everything is now.
It's a measuring stick, like, mentality, that it's like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or somebody else, you know, in this season was thriving or having their best year ever. And it's hard not to compare, you know.
I just saw this, this made me think, I just saw this video on Instagram. I sent it to Jordan and said, we need to film this, because it's like, I'm just trying to be a real estate and be a mom, but I'm over here dancing on TikTok, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing, is putting, you know, doing a dance to get your attention. And it's like, you feel like if you're not doing that, you're behind.
Right. And so there's, like, probably, I mean, I know there's people across all the industries that feel this way right now, and that are just like, what are we, you know, how do we keep up? And we're so blessed to have Emily and Jordan, who do all the things awesome, and keep us up to speed on the things. But I mean, if I was, like, by myself trying to figure out how to put my best face forward, I don't know.
It would be a lot.
It would be a lot.
It would be more stressful.
I think I would constantly feel like I was failing at it. Like,
I know.
You know, when really we all just need to, like, sit down and be like, it's cool. Like, I get it. You're busy.
We are.
Yeah.
And I also think, too, I don't want to be what's the right word? I don't want to be overworked, because then I don't feel like I can give the clients that I have, you know, 100% to each client. And so, like, if I'm constantly worried about social media, and if I'm constantly worried about answering that 10 o'clock phone call because it's a new client, and I feel like that takes away from the clients that I do have. And I want, when people call me, I want them to know they're getting Sarah, and they're getting my attention, and they're getting it so that they get 100% of my time. And if I'm overworked and overstressed and overstimulated,
you can't do anything well.
I cannot do that. So I want people to feel like what they're getting is the best of me. And the best of me right now is part mom, part realtor.
Yeah. So like, okay, we know the problem. How do we what's the answer? What's the starting point to be like, okay, I recognize that it's easy to fall into the trap of more, never turn off, always have your phone attached. What steps have you been taking? Are there any?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I do enjoy a glass of wine every night. I don't know if that's, that's a good step for me, is a glass of wine at night. And it kind of
self-care in general.
Yes, self-care.
Self-care, that's something that makes you feel like, you know what, it's okay.
It just mentally, yes.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, not feeling guilty. Because I feel like I always feel guilty, whether I'm guilty because of a mom fail or I'm guilty because of a work, whatever happens. And I don't like feeling guilty, and I don't like feeling like I'm behind. And when I did have him, we were in the hospital and I was on my phone in labor trying to close a deal. And my husband's like, Sarah, just turn your phone off. And I'm like, but it's taking my mind off of things. So it's okay, I can do this. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, why didn't I just put my phone down and just take in that moment?
Because you don't get those moments back.
You don't get those back.
Yeah, it's hard to...
I think telling yourself what is important for you, what is important for your job and your clients, and what is important for your family, and then figuring out the best way to navigate those every day. And it's hard.
Right.
But I don't know, I mean, what do you think? What are your strategies?
Yeah. So, and I'm going to cut this out eventually too, but I feel like when I was newer in the business, I was like, I would jump and run for any call. And we do, we put ourselves out there a lot to be called and inquired about different things. And that's a really, that's just the name of the game. But I do feel like I have been more protective of my off days in the last couple of years. And again, that might mean I won't be for everyone, the people that, have to see things on Sunday or whatever. And that's the day that I really spend time with my husband, and I take a walk and I do the things. But like you said, if I don't get to do those things, I don't get to be good.
You're not the
Monday
best version
through
of you.
Friday or Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's I think you just have to have boundaries.
But here's the good thing with that is we've got an office full of girls who are willing to take a Saturday and a Sunday for you. So if Saturdays and Sundays don't work for you, you can call me and say, hey, because my husband's home, and Saturdays and Sundays might work better for me. And so I think between all of us, though, we are able to use each other's, I can pick up where you need to, put down, and vice versa. And so I think that's super helpful too with what we've got here. And we've got so many people that have so many different schedules.
Oh, it's so awesome. And I think there will be seasons, I'm in a season where I have been coming down from an overwhelming couple of years. And so I'm like, how do you get that? How do you take back your life a little bit? But I think I will have seasons. It's so inspiring to see the way that we all work and hear different types of, just different types of schedules and life seasons for each of us women. And so I think there will be seasons where we change and where it's oh my gosh, I'm just full of energy to take, whatever comes my way, or I'm willing to.
What is energy? What is that? I don't know what that is.
I'm energy, maybe motivation. I don't know if the right word is, but
I haven't had energy in a long time, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I agree. Seasons, for sure.
Seasons, and they may be short, and it's okay, all of a sudden we're back in the hustle of it, and then other times we're honing in on those people that we've been working with for 10 years. There's some agents in this office that have been here for 10 years, and they have those people that, and I feel like I've been blessed in that too, that I have people that have used me from when I was new to now. And those, those are the ones that sometimes get it, and they're willing to give you a little grace when life happens or whatever.
There's just so many good agents in Paducah, and I see them all just hustling and bustling, and
Keep about real estate in real life.
They're all hustling and bustling, and I think some people thrive, and it's good. Some people thrive on being able to be 24/7. I'm available, or hey, I'm closing houses while I'm in labor, and it makes you feel very powerful. But I think what's also powerful is stepping back, and I think that says a lot for people who are able to find a way to step back too, because that shows that you want what's best for you as a person, which makes you a better
and knowing that what you see online is the best of it, the best of the best. Some of these agents that have flawless, like working all the time, they're posting all the time. They also have boundaries. They, you know, we just don't always talk about things like that. We just don't talk about
them. And I think that might be another step. It's just talking about them. Like maybe we don't always show the best of the best.
Which is kind of our point here. Is to just say, like, when you call either one of us, like, you're getting our best of the best, but it's because we have boundaries.
Yes.
It's because we know
100%
that our families, you know, we have been through seasons where we did not maybe give the most in other parts of our life, and now we're starting to realize that when you do make time for all the important things, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. You end up really getting the most full life, and your clients, they'll find you.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah. Is there anything we said too heavy that'll make us look like
definitely cut out anything that makes us look like nobody wants to call us.
Or they're like, oh gosh,
good God,
Ella and Sarah putting out
keeping in this part
PSA not to like reach out to me anytime soon. No new clients.
Maybe add that in there. Maybe we add something like that in there real quick and just be like, we're just so thrilled that our different walks of life have taken us to meet so many different types of people and allowed us to be available in the community and allowed us time to be, you know, make ourselves available for other walks of life, which ultimately lead us to new friends and new clients. And
like the like how beautiful it is to find your people when you're doing your regular, you know.
So maybe we should just like throw something like that in there.
Ooh, and then maybe
you just did.
I'm gonna let Jordan take you for a second.
Hey, baby.
Really,
Oh, he's just kidding.
Oh, no, you sweet baby.
I know.
Come here.
So I know the one thing we wanted to get across our message, because for anybody that's watching, you know, the last thing we want to do is insinuate that we are saying work less or do less.
Or that we're like taking a season off, because that's not what's going on for us right now.
No, that's definitely not. I think it's more or less encouraging people to find the best version of themselves, whatever that version is.
Yeah.
To allow yourself to be better for your clients, for yourself, for your family.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you want to look back at this time and feel like, you know, you did awesome things in your career, but also have great memories with your friends and your kids and your families and on the vacations that you're glad you were present for. And I truly think that both things are possible. I mean, don't
I think
you?
so too.
Yeah.
And you can smile while doing all those things.
You can have fun with it.
Smile.
And we're like so lucky to have a whole group of women that are very encouraging when you have a bump in the road or you have a time where you're like, I've got to go quiet for a second. You know, that just say like, like we've got you, you know. And I think in any career that this is possible, and it's possible to get overwhelmed.
Life happens.
Yeah. And so in general, it's just like good life advice before you burn out, like find the things that fill your soul, and, you know, friendships, and
I like that.
You know,
fill your soul.
Yeah, we're just like, we're in our fill your soul era.
We are. I like it. And I think that just overall encompasses everything that we were trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely, and have fun with it, because I mean, it's not all about the grind, and you can be just as productive when you are enjoying your life and having healthy boundaries.
100%.
Yeah, cool.
I love it.
Okay.
Real estate in real life.
Real estate in real life. Yeah, I think we said what we wanted to say.
Do you have a story of like where you've worked with clients and they've become good friends?
Yes, I really do. So there are people who over the years, I don't know about, I'm thinking of a few in particular, that have just been like such a joy, you know. And it's like some things it's just the nature of this business. There are different types of transactions,
right?
And, you know, and so you don't always have that opportunity, but there are times, and I think a lot of times in residential, you know, you know somebody from high school, or you know a friend of a friend or whatever, and you get to spend time with them, you know, just like helping them make a huge life decision, which is such always a blessing. But you do get to know what they like and what they don't like, and little tidbits about their story, and they get to know yours. And so if you let it, this job can be such like a fulfilling, you know, and it's like they're people too, and we're people, and we all go through things. And, you know, I may have sold them a house 2 years ago, and now they're calling me back, and they didn't have a baby when I knew them earlier, and now, you know, like it's just cool to see people. It's an honor that people let us into that.
Well, yes, because I can be a real estate agent and a therapist all in one. It seems like sometimes.
And be therapy too.
And
know? Like,
and it is. And sometimes that happens too, where you get a client you become friends with, and next thing you know, you guys are sharing your life together, and you've become great friends. And I think being able to open that up and open yourself up, and kind of goes back to filling your soul, like what we talked about.
Yeah, it doesn't all have to be grind. Like it can be like we get to meet the coolest,
Yes.
people doing
Yes.
really great things.
Which is
and-
one of the reasons why I love this job.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
one thing where I'm like, even when I have my burnout moments, I'm like, but there's nothing else where you get to do life on this level with people
No.
that I've found
No.
that is so like, exciting
Yes.
and fun and
Yeah.
and it's just a cool opportunity.
It definitely, opportunity is what it is.
Yeah.
Definitely a cool opportunity.
Something we do not take for granted.
No.
The views and opinions expressed by Arnold Realty Group or affiliated agents are their own and do not reflect the views of the podcast creators, hosts, or sponsors. Information provided is for general informational purposes only, and we make no representations or warranties of any kind, express or implied, about the completeness, accuracy, reliability, suitability, or availability with respect to the podcast. Any reliance you place on such information is at your own risk. Thank you for your understanding and enjoy the podcast responsibly.